Hi, good morning. Today we are going to start our third module. And the third module, first section is Galois theory, and the second section is illustration of Galois theory. Third section is cyclotomic extension, and the fourth section is illustration of insolvability of quinine. So the first section, Galois theory, this is also very important section. Okay. Now, before going to the section, we are just revising the important theorem that we have discussed up to this section. Okay, just to go through this. Here you have to change this. Following are some highlight of chapter 3 and you just correct this. Okay. So first one is our conjugation isomorphism theorem. Let F is a subfield of E is a subfield of F closure. Alpha belongs to E and beta be a conjugate of alpha over F, that is irreducible of alpha over F has beta as a zero also. Then there is a isomorphism psi alpha beta mapping f of alpha onto f of beta that leaves f fixed and alpha maps alpha onto beta. Okay, this is the our conjugation isomorphism theorem. Beta be conjugate of alpha, and then the isomorphism psi alpha beta mapping f of alpha onto f of beta. Okay, and that maps alpha onto beta. So corresponding to each conjugate, there exists isomorphism, or if there exists isomorphism, and that means alpha to its conjugate. Okay. Now next is F is a subfield of E is a subfield of F closure and alpha belongs to B. Then in automorphism sigma belongs to F closure that leaves F fixed must map alpha onto some conjugate of alpha over F. An automorphism sigma of F closure that leaves F fixed map alpha onto some conjugate of alpha over F. Next is the collection of all automorphism of E leaving F fixed from a group G of E over F. Now for any subset S of G of E over F, the set of all elements of E left fixed by all elements of S is the field ES. And also we have proved F is a subfield of E over G of E over F. F is a subfield of E G of E over F. And the fourth one is F is a subfield of E is a subfield of F closure is a splitting field over F if and only if every isomorphism of E onto a subfield of F closure leaving F fixed is an automorphism of E. If E is a finite extension and a splitting field over F, then cardinality of G of E over F equal to index of E over F. Now the fifth one is, if E is a finite extension of F, then index of E over F divides degree of E over F. If this is small f, okay, E is also separable over F, then index of E over F is equal to degree of E over F. Also, E is separable over F if and only if irreducible of alpha over F has all zeros of multiplicity 1 for every alpha belongs to E. Now the last one, if E is a finite extension of F and is a separable splitting field over F, then cardinality of G of E over F is equal to index of E over F equal to degree of E over F. Okay. Just recall all these results. We are using all these results in our Galois theory. Okay. Now, before going to the Galois theory, we are defining another extension, and that is called normal extension. Okay. So, again, definition. A finite extension K of F is a finite normal extension of F if K is a separable splitting field over F. A finite extension K of F is a finite normal extension if K is a separable splitting field over F. Clear? Normal extension means that must be a separable extension. Also, it is a splitting field over F. The next one, K is a finite normal extension of F implies K is a splitting field over F and K is a separable extension of F. K is a separable extension of F implies index of K over F equal to degree of K over F. As K is a splitting field of finite degree over F by above corollary, index of E over F is equal to cardinality G of K over F. Therefore, K is a finite normal of extension of F implies cardinality of G of K over F is equal to index of K over F is equal to degree of K over F. Okay. K is a finite normal extension implies these condition holds. Now moving to one example. Consider our same example Q of root 2 root 3. This is a finite normal extension of Q. So we have to check whether it is a splitting field over Q. Also we have to check whether it is a separable extension of F. Okay, extension of Q. We know that the splitting field of x square minus 2, x square minus 3 is Q of root 2 root 3. So splitting field of this over Q is Q of root 2 root 3. Therefore, Q of root 2 root 3 is a splitting field over Q. A field is a splitting field over F if it is a splitting field of some set of polynomial. Okay. So this is a splitting field over F. Also, we know that index of Q of root 2 root 3 over Q equal to degree of Q of root 2 root 3 equal to 4. Therefore, these are equal. That means Q of root 2 root 3 is a separable extension of Q. Hence, Q of root 2 root 3 is a separable splitting field over Q. Hence, Q of root 2 root 3 is a finite normal extension of Q. Now moving to next theorem. Let K be a finite normal extension of F and E be an extension of F where F is a subfield of E is a subfield of K is a subfield of F closure. Okay, then K is a finite normal extension of F. Sorry, K is a finite normal extension of E. E is K is a finite normal extension of F and E is any extension of F. Then this result says that K is a finite normal extension of E. Also, G of K over F is precisely subgroup of G of K over F. That means G of K over E is a subgroup of G of K over F consisting of all automorphisms that leaves E fixed. Now the last one, two automorphisms sigma and tau in G of K over F induces the same automorphism of E onto a subfield of F closure if and only if they are in the same left coset of G of K over E in G of K over F. Once again, two automorphisms sigma and tau in G of K over F induces same isomorphism of E onto a subfield of F closure if and only if they are in the same left cosets of G of K over E in G of K over F, because this is a subgroup of this one. So we can easily find left cosets of G of K over E in G of K over F. If sigma and tau in same left coset, then they induces same isomorphism onto a subfield of F closure. Okay. So the first one is very easy. We have to prove K is a finite normal extension of E. Moving to the proof. What is given? Given K is a finite normal extension of F. What is the meaning of that? This implies K is a separable splitting field over F. Clear? That means K is a splitting field over F. Also K is a separable extension of F. What we have to prove? We have to prove K is a normal extension of E. Okay. So now K is a splitting field over F implies K is a splitting field of some set of polynomials Fix in f of x. Clear? Okay. Since f is a subfield of E, f of x is a subset of E of x. Okay. Therefore, this Fix is also in E of x. This Fix is also in E of x. Hence, K is a splitting field of some set of polynomials Fix in E of x. Here K is a splitting field of our F implies K is a splitting field of this polynomial in F of x. F of x is a subset of E of x implies this is a polynomial in E of x. That means K is a splitting field of this polynomial in E of x. This implies K is a splitting field over E. Okay. Now by theorem 51.8, K is separable over F if and only if K is separable over E and E is separable over F. Thus K is separable over E, and here we get K is a splitting field over E. Thus we get K is separable over E and K is a splitting field over E. This implies K is a finite normal extension of E. Okay. Hope it is clear. K is a finite extension, K is a splitting field over E and K is a separable over E implies K is a finite normal extension of E. Now we have to prove G of K over E is a subgroup of G of K over F. What is G of K over E? The group of all automorphism of K leaving E fixed. And G of K over F is the group of all automorphism of K leaving F fixed. We have F is a subfield of E. So every automorphism of K which leaves E fixed is also an automorphism on K which leaves F fixed, because every element of F is in E. If some sigma fixes every element of E, that means sigma fixes every element of F. That means G of K over E is a subset of G of K over F. Now to prove it is a group, what we have to prove? We have to check whether operation is closed. Clearly, G of K over E is a group under the function composition, because G of K over E is the group of all automorphisms and it is a function. Therefore, it is closed, associativity hold, identity element exists, etc. Inverse also exists. Therefore, G of K over E is a subgroup of G of K over F. That is, G of K over E is a subgroup of, that is why here notation like this, subgroup of G of K over here subset, and here it is a subgroup. Okay. Now what we have to prove? We have to prove the last one is, we have to prove this sigma and tau induces same automorphism of E onto a subfield of F closure if and only if they are in the same left cosets of G of K over E in G of K over F. Okay. So you take, how we can write left and right cosets? How we are writing left and right coset? Suppose we have, here we have suppose H is a subgroup of G. What is AH? AH is the left coset of H in G. A belongs to G. This is set of all AH such that H belongs to H. This is our left coset, and right coset HA is set of all HA. Here operation is operation in G itself, okay, such that H belongs to H. A must be belongs to G. Okay. We have a result, if A belongs to H, then HA is same as H equal to AH. We have this result. So we are taking A belongs to G and some H belongs to H, thus making our coset. Okay. So for this here, we have to consider cosets. Subgroups are here, groups are, for H we have G of K over E and for G we have G of K over F. So you have to take two elements. For A we are taking sigma and tau. Okay. Let sigma and tau belongs to G of K over F. We have to show that they are in the same left cosets of to show we have to show they are in this left cosets of G of K over F. We have to show that tau inverse sigma belongs to G of K over F. We have a one result AH equal to BH or H equal to HB if and only if B inverse A belongs to H. I think B inverse A belongs to H like this. Okay. So if A and B belongs to G, they are in the same left coset if and only if B inverse A belongs to H. So here we have to prove this belongs to E. Okay. Tau inverse sigma belongs to G of K over E. That is, we have to prove tau inverse sigma is equal to mu, and that belongs to G of K over E. Okay. We have to show that tau inverse sigma equal to mu, and for some mu belongs to G of K over E. That is, we have to prove sigma equal to tau nu for some nu belongs to G of K over E. Okay. So from this sigma equal to tau nu for some nu belongs to G of K over E. So to prove the part C, we have to show that for sigma and tau in G of K over F, we have to show that for sigma and tau in G of K induces same isomorphism on E onto a subfield of F closure if and only if sigma equal to tau nu for some nu belongs to G of K over E. Okay. So to prove the part C, what we have to prove for sigma and mu in G of K over F, both sigma and mu induce the same isomorphism of E onto a subfield of F closure if and only if they are in the same left coset. That's what we have to prove. For this, it is enough to prove they are in the same left coset means this condition. That means if sigma equal to tau nu for nu belongs to G of K over E. So first we assume this one, then we are proving this one. Conversely, we are assuming this one, then we prove this one. Okay, so let sigma equal to tau nu for some nu belongs to G of K over F. Okay, let alpha, we have to prove sigma and tau induces same automorphism. Let alpha belongs to E. What is we have sigma alpha? We have sigma alpha equal to tau nu of alpha, and which is equal to tau of nu of alpha. Nu is an isomorphism leaving E fixed. Therefore, nu of alpha is alpha, and which is equal to tau of alpha. Okay. So sigma alpha equal to tau of alpha. Okay. So sigma and alpha are same here. Okay. Induces same isomorphism on E. Sigma and mu sigma and tau induces same isomorphism on E means what? Sigma of alpha equal to tau of alpha for every alpha belongs to E. We have to prove if and only if sigma equal to tau nu for some nu belongs to G of K over E. So first we take sigma equal to tau nu. Sigma of alpha equal to tau nu of alpha. Nu is a, no, where is nu? Mu. Mu belongs to G of K over F. Okay. So what happens? Mu belongs to G of K over A. That means mu of alpha equal to alpha. That means tau mu of alpha equal to tau of alpha. Okay. Now conversely, assume that if tau alpha equal to sigma of alpha for all alpha belongs to E, then tau inverse sigma of alpha, what is tau inverse sigma of alpha is equal to alpha. And tau inverse sigma alpha equal to alpha for all elements alpha belongs to E implies tau inverse sigma is an automorphism leaving every element of E fixed. That means tau inverse sigma leaves E fixed. And we are taking mu equal to tau inverse sigma. Okay. And which is clearly G of K over E. Okay. Thus, we have two automorphisms, sigma and tau in G of K over F induces same automorphism on E, same isomorphism on E if and only if they are in the same left coset. Okay. Now we are moving to one definition. If K is a finite normal extension of F, then we call G of K over F as the Galois group of K over F. Okay. If K is a finite normal extension of F, then G of K over F, group of all automorphism on K, leaving F fixed, is called Galois group of K over F. Okay. There is one condition. K must be a finite normal extension of F. Then this G of K over F is called Galois group of K over F. Okay. And now we have one theorem that we will discuss in our next